Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines, is a truly multifaceted individual. He was, to name a few of his talents, a writer, artist, scholar, swordsman, pugilist, multilinguist, and because of his love for his mother, who was slowly going blind from illness, a doctor and surgeon. Born 1861 in the town of Calamba, Laguna, Rizal was part of a brood of 11 children, born to Francisco Mercado and Teodora Alonso. Doña Teodora, a well-educated and cultured woman, doted on the young Jose. She was Rizal's first teacher, teaching him reading and writing, sowing the seed that would blossom into one of the greatest minds of his generation. When he was in his early teens, a tragic event occurred that traumatized the boy. Doña Teodora was imprisoned for more than 2 years on trumped-up charges, suffering abuse at the hands of the local police force, the Guardia Civil. The pain and anger caused by his mother's incarceration would leave a lasting scar on the young Rizal. While his mother was still in jail, Rizal had to move to Manila for his secondary studies at the Ateneo Municipal in Intramuros. He excelled under the guidance of his Jesuit teachers and graduated with honors. He would go on to the University of Santo Tomas to pursue a degree in philosophy and letters. It was at this time that Rizal found out his mother was slowly going blind from cataracts. He resolved to study medicine, specializing in ophthalmology, with the goal of curing his mother from this debilitating eye disease. He shifted his studies in Santo Tomas from letters to medicine, but felt hindered by the stifling discrimination shown by the Spanish Dominican Friars to their Filipino students. Unwilling to accept this abuse, and with the support of his elder brother Pasiano, he decided to pursue his education abroad. In 1882, Rizal traveled to Spain to continue his study of medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid. That's where, 2 years later, he would receive his licentiate degrees in medicine as well as philosophy and letters. Still with the goal of curing his mother's eyes, Rizal next went to France for his specialization in ophthalmology. There he trained under the leading ophthalmologist in Paris at the time, Louis de Wecker. Rizal wrote that de Wecker's Paris clinic was busy with up to 100 patients a day, doing up to 10 surgeries a day. Under de Wecker, he was schooled in various forms of eye surgery. This included the technique for cataract removal that he hoped to use to cure his own mother. He moved to Heidelberg, Germany, to continue his studies under Dr. Otto Becker, a pioneer in ophthalmic pathology. While in Berlin, he published his first novel, Noli Me Tangere, in 1887. The novel would have a profound effect on his country and on his life. Later that year, he finally returned to the Philippines. He had been abroad for 5 long years, 5 years away from home and family, 5 years away from his beloved mother. He opened a clinic in his hometown of Calamba. There, he examined his first patient, his own mother, Doña Teodora. Although he did not remove her cataracts at this time, it is possible that he operated on her, perhaps performing an iridectomy as preliminary to cataract extraction. His practice thrived as patients from Manila and other places came to see the doctor who trained in Europe. Yet Rizal was caught in the web of his fate. The storm caused by his book had already crashed onto Philippine shores. While well received by his fellow compatriots, it was denounced by the Spanish religious authorities. A panel from his own alma mater, the University of Santo Tomas, had declared the novel heretical and subversive. His involvement in a local agrarian dispute involving Dominican land in Calamba only added fuel to the fire. He was called before the Governor General in Manila and advised to leave the country. Facing persecution and death threats, he grudgingly agreed. So after being in the country only a short 6 months, Rizal again departed his homeland. He traveled the world, passing Hong Kong, Japan, America, and England before returning to Spain. There, he renewed his ties to the Philippine propaganda movement in Spain, a group of Filipino activists who were seeking political reforms and representation in the Spanish Cortes. He wrote articles for the movement's newspaper, La Solidaridad, and along with some of his fellow Ilustrados on the continent, lived a bohemian lifestyle, traveling all across Europe. Rizal, of course, was a well-known ladies' man. So bold was he in pursuit of his passions that because of one particularly pretty belle named Nelly Busted, he almost fought a duel with fellow patriot Antonio Luna. It is fortunate that cooler heads prevailed, for both men were still to fulfill their destinies, with Luna meeting his tragic demise in the revolution still to come. It was during this European sojourn that Rizal published his second novel, El Filibusterismo, in Ghent, Belgium. In 1891, Rizal left Europe to go to Hong Kong. In the Crown Colony, he was able to continue his practice of medicine. His family joined him there. His mother at this time almost blind. Here, he was able to finally operate on Doña Teodora and successfully remove her cataract. Rizal could have lived a comfortable life abroad, yet his homeland was calling to him. The next year, Rizal returned to the Philippines, ready to face the charges against him. A short time after his arrival, he was arrested for sedition and other charges. He was sent in exile to Dapitan on Mindanao. There, Rizal waited for 4 years, throwing his time and effort into civic duties and developments for this backwater town. In 1896, he was brought to Manila and jailed inside Fort Santiago in Intramuros. There, his trial was held, and the outcome was never in doubt. Rizal was found guilty of rebellion and sedition. The sentence was death by musketry. At dawn, on December 30, 1896, Jose Rizal was taken from his cell and led out of a gate of Intramuros. He was marched to the nearby Bagumbayan field. Spanish regiments had ringed the promenade on the western end of the field, fronting the Manila Bay. This was the Paseo de la Luneta, the Walk of the Small Moon. Here, Rizal was brought to the center of the military formations and made to stand facing the waters of the bay. He was blindfolded and his elbows were tied behind his back. The executioners took their positions and the order was given.
¡Apunten! ¡Fuego!
This was a story of Jose Rizal, doctor, patriot, martyr, hero of his nation, and devoted son. If you like this story, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and please leave any comments or suggestions in the section below. Salamat po.